Did Nina honestly think she could look Willow in the eye, pitch a literal murder plot, and walk away without triggering the absolute destruction of everything she holds dear? If you ask me, the sheer audacity of this move is going to blow up in her face in ways we cannot even begin to fathom. We are looking at a mother pushing her own daughter to the absolute moral brink, dangling a lethal solution to their problems just to see if she will take the bait. It is a psychological game of Russian roulette, and the chamber is fully loaded. How long did the writers expect us to sit back and watch this toxic dynamic fester before someone finally pulled the trigger? If Nina believes she can control the darkness brewing inside her daughter, she is painfully mistaken. This is not just a mother protecting her child anymore. This is a desperate woman playing God with the lives of everyone in her orbit, and the fallout will be nothing short of catastrophic. And hello and welcome back to our channel, everyone! Looking ahead to the explosive events slated for Friday, July 24th, I firmly believe that the narrative we are being spoon-fed by the early teasers is nothing but a masterfully crafted illusion. The writers are meticulously arranging the pieces on the board, setting us up for a colossal reversal where every single person is masking their true intentions. We are about to witness a domino effect so profound that it will shatter the very foundation of this town. Every action, every whispered secret, and every desperate lie is about to collide in a spectacular chain reaction of betrayal and ruin. Let us break down exactly how this impending disaster will unfold, piece by devastating piece. Let us start with the ticking time bomb that is Nina and Willow. The prevailing rumor is that Nina will suggest a lethal solution to eliminate the threat of a recovering. But if you ask me, Nina has a hidden agenda that is far more sinister and heartbreaking than simple murder. I do not believe for 1 second that she actually wants to go through with this deadly plan. Instead, she is intentionally floating this extreme, unforgivable idea as a psychological trap. She is testing the treacherous waters to see exactly how corrupted her daughter's soul has truly become. If Willow eagerly accepts the idea of committing murder to protect her secrets, it will serve as a horrifying wake-up call for Nina. She will realize, with absolute certainty, that the sweet girl she fought so hard to save is gone, replaced by someone entirely unhinged and beyond salvation. This realization is the first domino to fall, and its impact will be utterly devastating to their already fragile bond. Once that horrifying truth dawns on her, what will a desperate, terrified mother do? If Willow crosses that unforgivable line in her mind, Nina might feel compelled to make the ultimate sacrifice to stop the madness before it consumes them all. I theorize that in that exact agonizing moment, Nina will silently betray her own flesh and blood. She might forge an unholy alliance with the authorities or a powerful enemy, trading her daughter's freedom for the safety of the rest of the family. Imagine the sheer tragedy if this deadly plan was nothing more than a psychological snare designed to force Willow to reveal her true, dark nature. And if Nina feels the walls closing in, fearing her own imprisonment, she might just throw Willow to the wolves, turning herself in for leniency and dragging her daughter down with her. The police could swarm in and arrest Willow right then and there, a direct consequence of her own mother's manipulative scheme. The vicious cycle of betrayal between mothers and daughters would reach a tragic, inescapable climax. Meanwhile, the shockwaves of deception are not confined to just one family. Let us shift our focus to Maxie, who is poised to make a highly emotional and completely unexpected decision regarding her prestigious career. On the surface, it might look like she is simply stepping away from her corporate duties because young James is drowning in grief over the recent family tragedies. But guys, we know Maxie better than that. I strongly suspect she is voluntarily surrendering her corporate power to shield her son, yes, but also to launch a covert, highly dangerous investigation of her own. She knows someone is ruthlessly exploiting her family's vulnerability to manipulate the internal workings of their cosmetics empire. By stepping out of the spotlight, she becomes invisible, allowing her to hunt down the traitor from the shadows. This calculated retreat is yet another falling domino, one that will inadvertently plunge her colleagues into a vicious, unforgiving corporate bloodbath. Maxie's sudden power vacuum will instantly ignite a raging inferno among the remaining executives. Lucy, Brooke, Lynn, and Tracy will find themselves thrust into a brutal, no-holds-barred war for dominance and survival. With Maxie's true loyalties suddenly shrouded in mystery, paranoia will spread like wildfire through the office hallways. Tracy, true to her ruthless nature, will not waste a single second capitalizing on the chaos. I predict she will launch a highly aggressive, manipulative scheme deliberately hurling wild accusations just to force Lucy and Brooklyn to panic and reveal their true hands. The boardroom will transform from a place of business into a psychological torture chamber, where every glance is a threat and every word is a trap. The legacy family ties that once held them together will snap under the immense pressure of greed and suspicion, proving once again that in this town, blood is rarely thicker than blind ambition. But the true masterstroke of this corporate warfare will come when the dust momentarily settles, only to reveal a twist absolutely no one saw coming. I believe the ultimate shocker will be the sudden presentation of undeniable proof that a secret, anonymous shareholder has been silently pulling the strings behind this entire battle for control. This revelation will completely obliterate the current power dynamics. It will no longer be a petty squabble over Maxie's voting shares. It will escalate into a terrifying fight for the very survival of the company against an unseen, omnipotent enemy. Who is this phantom investor? What is their hidden agenda? The sudden appearance of this mysterious figure will send the remaining executives into a blind panic, realizing far too late that they have been nothing but pawns in a much larger, far more dangerous game of corporate chess. As the corporate world burns to the ground, the justice system in our beloved town is facing its own catastrophic meltdown. Let us talk about Dante. We already know he is bracing for bad news regarding his position at the police department, but I think the reality will be far more agonizing than a simple demotion or reprimand. I foresee Laura sitting him down and formally stripping him of his involvement in the entire investigation surrounding Ross. She will cite a massive conflict of interest, effectively tying Dante's hands when he needs them free the most. This is a crushing, humiliating blow. Just when his family is drowning in chaos and danger, Dante will be forcibly sidelined, stripped of his badge's power to protect the people he loves. This forced helplessness is a dangerous domino, one that will push a fiercely protective man to the absolute edge of his sanity and reason. Stripped of his official authority, Dante will not simply sit back and watch his family suffer in silence. Instead, this devastating setback will act as a powerful catalyst, plunging him into a deep, dark well of paranoia and suspicion. He will begin to connect the invisible dots, suspecting that Laura's decision was not just about legal protocol, but part of a larger, more sinister conspiracy. He will start to believe that someone deep inside the police department is actively manipulating the strings, orchestrating these events to leave his loved ones completely defenseless. This growing suspicion will force Dante to go rogue, operating outside the law he once swore to uphold. The tragic irony is that in his desperate quest to uncover the truth and protect his family, he might inadvertently trigger the very destruction he is trying to prevent, alienating the few genuine allies he has left. And speaking of the police department's internal decay, Anna is about to make a move that will further fracture the fragile trust among our heroes. Rather than simply handing Harrison his detective shield back with a warm smile and a handshake, I believe Anna is going to corner him with an impossible, highly classified proposition. She will ask him to spearhead a deeply secret investigation, one so sensitive and dangerous that he is strictly forbidden from breathing a single word of it to anyone, especially not to Laura or Dante. Anna is effectively asking Harrison to step into a tangled web of deceit, creating a massive, unbridgeable rift between him and his closest friends. This is the classic, tragic hallmark of our favorite legacy family dramas, forcing a good man to compromise his integrity for the supposed greater good, perpetuating a vicious cycle of lies and betrayal. Harrison will be left staring down the barrel of an excruciating, soul-crushing dilemma. If he accepts Anna's covert mission, he must actively deceive the people who trust him the most, carrying a toxic secret that will slowly eat away at his soul and his marriage. He will become a double agent in his own life, constantly looking over his shoulder. But if he refuses, he risks throwing away the greatest career opportunity he has ever been handed, potentially blacklisting himself from the police force forever. It is a terrifying no-win scenario, a brilliant and cruel manipulative scheme designed by the writers to push Harrison to his absolute breaking point. Whatever choice he ultimately makes, the fallout will be immense, sending yet another heavy domino crashing into the fragile lives of everyone connected to the justice system. While the lawmen battle their internal demons, the underworld is facing its own profound emotional reckoning. The highly anticipated conversation between Sonny and young Rocco is going to be far more impactful than a simple grandfatherly pep talk. Rocco is carrying the immense, crushing guilt of pulling the trigger on Ross, and I believe Sonny will instantly recognize that the boy is drowning in self-hatred. To pull him back from the dangerous edge, Sonny will do something incredibly rare. He will strip away his untouchable mob boss armor and confess a dark, haunting secret from his own violent past. He will share a story of his own youthful, devastating mistakes, a time when he had to face the terrifying consequences of his actions alone. This raw, unfiltered truth will completely shatter Rocco's current understanding of right and wrong, forcing the young man to stop hiding behind his guilt and finally stand up to face the music, forever altering the trajectory of his life. Finally, we must address the quiet but deadly storm brewing between Michael and Alexis. Their upcoming meeting is not just casual family chatter over coffee. It is the calm before a massive legal hurricane. I strongly suspect that Michael has stumbled upon a brand new, explosive piece of evidence directly linking to Drew's precarious situation. But instead of marching into the police station and handing it over like a good citizen, Michael is playing a highly dangerous game of chess. He is taking this crucial clue to Alexis, desperately seeking a legal loophole or a strategic maneuver to handle the evidence without pushing Willow over the edge of no return. Michael is desperately trying to save the mother of his children from her own destructive path, but in doing so, he is playing with fire, risking his own freedom and reputation to shield her from the blind eye of justice. If Michael successfully secures this legal leverage, he instantly becomes the most powerful player on the board, holding the ultimate evidence that could destroy them all in a heartbeat. This sets the stage for a catastrophic final showdown. Nina, Willow, and Drew will find themselves locked in a desperate, high-stakes confrontation where the fate of their entire family hangs delicately in the balance. Every lie they have told, every secret they have buried, will be dragged into the unforgiving, blinding light. The tension will be absolutely suffocating as these characters realize that their carefully constructed, perfect lives are crumbling to ash around them. The dominoes are falling faster and faster, and there is absolutely nothing they can do to stop the impending, violent collision. As we brace ourselves for this monumental episode, it is clear that Friday will not just be about tearful confessions or angry, screaming arguments. It will mark the exact moment every single character radically shifts their strategy. They all believe they are the masters of their own fate, confidently moving their pieces across the board with absolute certainty. But in this town, control is nothing but a fleeting, dangerous illusion. With so many hidden agendas and unholy alliances in play, the stage is perfectly set for a completely unknown, mysterious figure to step out of the shadows and flip the entire board upside down. When all the dust finally settles and the final domino falls, who will be left standing in the smoking wreckage? We will just have to tune in and watch the glorious chaos unfold.